Okay, I am back and I am using my webcam and I should be fine. I apologize. Hopefully some of you will come back. Okay. Y'all are starting to come back. I apologize, but now my camera won't die. Okay. Hi, Plum Nuo and Kelly and Heather and Janet. This looks pretty good too. We still have a lot of time, so. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, but I have my laptop here, and my laptop is pretty good. So, thank you, Heather. That's so nice. Heather says I look beautiful in purple. Purple happens to be my favorite color. I also like navy. I was showing this. So I have a sweater on the needles, and the dyer is Into the World, and they did kind of a it's definitely a more speckly navy, and I have that on the needles, and I really like it. So, anyway, I'm gonna let you all just keep coming in. I apologize about my camera. It's very hot up here, and the camera overheated, which happens with cameras, unfortunately. That does happen a lot, so. Oh, hi, Donna. Donna, I had some drama. My good camera overheated, so I had to restart the stream. I was showing your bag and everybody loved it, so thank you. Okay, so let's move on. Um, I have another new color that I did this week, and this one is sea turtles. Now the colors aren't gonna show up quite as pretty as they did when I had my other camera on, but they're not bad. So, yeah, this is sea turtles. I had a beautiful sea turtle on this bag. And then last year, um, I did a bag yarn combo and I called it Whale Song. And I love the yarn so much that I dyed some more. So this is Whale Song. Thank you, Erin. So this is Sea Turtles and this is Whale Song. And they're very fun. Oh, thank you, Valerie. Whales, I love whales too. Last year we had a bag with a lot of whales on it and other marine animals, and I matched the whale on the bag, but Um, yeah, we don't have that in stock, but I can still. Oh, thank you, Heather. Yeah, I have a mini skein set, um, that's in my shop now as a pre-order, and what I'm doing is I'm picking a color, like turquoise, say, and, I'm gonna take that color and I'm going to do a light shade of it, a medium shade, like a regular shade, and then a dark. And I'm gonna do that with 4 colors, and there'll be 12 mini skeins, so, I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna dye that in the beginning of June, and that's gonna be shipped out by June 15th. So, yeah. Hi, Susan. I'm doing great, so thanks for joining. Okay, so, yeah, so that's it, um, for the update. What I might do is I might show them all at the end because I lost a lot lost a lot of people when my stream kept stopping. So, yeah, anyway. Um, okay, so and then both of these streams will be up. You can watch them again. They stay on this channel, and that's why I wanted to do it this way. So, yeah. Thanks, Jen. I am very sorry that that happened. Yeah, technology. It's awesome, but sometimes it just bites you, but you have to have backups, you know what I mean? Right? So, yeah, the colors aren't showing up as well with my webcam, but that's okay. It's fine. All right, so I wanted to talk about a topic today because I dye a lot of mini skeins. Speaking of mini skeins, I dye pretty much a set every time I dye. I dye a 5 skein set of mini skeins. I did advents for a couple of years, but then that's like intense. And Donna, thank you so much for helping me with my advents because if Donna didn't wrap those advents, they wouldn't have gotten done because they're very intense. Um, so so yeah. Anyway, so I thought I would talk about mini skein projects today, and I'm going to do a little show and tell. Most of these projects were made from my all the- from my yarn that I dyed, so you can kind of see how things knit up that I dye. And then I'm going to talk about mini skein patterns that you can use, and I'm going to also touch a little bit on how you can modify just any old shawl pattern and just put mini skeins in it. So that's really fun. So Joe asked me how Rich and Jamie are. They're doing great. They're downstairs hanging out. And they don't join me on the show anymore because I wanted the show to be more knitting focused. So, the first pattern I want to talk about, and this is probably going to be like a Helen Stewart love fest because Helen writes a lot of beautiful mini skein patterns. Um, and I have knit a lot of them. So I'm going to go through them, some mini skein patterns right now. And I'm going to start with my very favorite one. And I know it's my favorite because I've knit 4 of them. Well, I've knit 3 of them. I have one on the needles. So this is my absolute favorite, probably favorite thing I've ever knit. And it's the Land of Sweets cowl. These are all my mini skeins, with the exception of maybe this tan, I think was something I had in my stash. Yeah, Sandra, Helen Stewart, she's so talented. I love her stuff. I have quite a few of her patterns knit up. So Land of Sweets, and I dyed most of these minis, and I really wanted to get to have a soft color for winter with this one. Yeah, Susan, it's a really good one. I love the Land of Sweets, and it uses 12 mini skeins, and you don't use the whole mini. You use about 8 to 10 grams per mini, but it's a nice long cowl. So, I'm gonna briefly show you this is not my yarn, but, actually, you can knit this with just 1 skein. So this is a skein of Sport that I modified the pattern a little bit to make it shorter. And then for Halloween last year, I did a mini skein set. And I did this one. So I used 5 minis. So if you wanted to use 5 minis, you're just gonna have a longer repeat. But 5 minis will make will pretty much make you the whole cowl. So you can see there's 5 separate colors here. So you don't have to use 12. You could use 1 skein, you could use, um, the 5 skeins, whatever. Valerie, you say that's your color palette. I dye a lot of fall-inspired colors in in the fall. You'll see some, they're coming up. I have one on the needles. This is another mini skein set I did last year in the fall, and I'm about halfway through this one. And the minis are in my bag. Bag sewn by Donna. Thank you, Donna. I love this bag. It's like a quilt. She custom did it for me from all of the patterns that we did. These are pretty much all the bags that we've done in the past. Okay. Here's it. Yeah, here's all the minis. So, needless to say, Land of Sweets is one of my favorite patterns. Okay. As far as large mini skein patterns, I did a blanket, and I'll put a link to this blanket in the show notes. Jude Harper wrote this pattern. It's really not a pattern, it's more like a recipe. And you basically just cast on as many stitches as you want and do a garter stitch marled blanket. So I think this was my Advent skeins from 2020 or 2021, I'm not sure. But yeah, I love this blanket. Yeah, Jude is awesome. He's really he he's been talking about making, sweaters. I've been watching a lot of his ones that I've need to catch up on, and he was talking about knitting some, sweaters for his new body, and I love seeing that. I love seeing all the sweaters that he wants to knit. And what a talented dyer he is. Oh my goodness, incredible. This is very cozy. This lives on my bed, and I need the weight of a blanket to help me sleep. I like to sleep in a very cold room with lots of blankets. And this is on my side because Rich doesn't need the weight. So, yeah. So it's just basically holding 2 together. So if you hold 2 if you hold 2 fingering weight yarns together, you're gonna get about a DK to a worsted weight. And, um, yeah. So I kinda did it in a rainbow. But if you look at Jude's finished projects, it's there, what he did. So, okay, so again, back to Helen Stewart. Last year, her knit vent patterns, all of them were for mini skeins or scrappy projects. And I have photographs of some of them. So this first one is the Anthology Shawl by Helen Stewart. And I'm actually knitting this, but I'm not using minis. So this is my yarn, and I'm using full skeins. And it's a circular shawl, so it's hard to see. But speaking of fall colors, I started out with just, this is my black, this is Familiar, and this is Slutty Squash. And then the outside is going to be, I forget what I called this one. I can't remember. But it's a burgundy. So that's the three. So even some mini skeins, you don't have to use minis. You can use full skeins and color block them. I do that a lot. I have another Helen Stewart pattern that I have on the needles, and I'm color blocking it. And that one is the Habitation Throw. That is from her 2021 knit vent. And this is not my yarn. This is Plucky Knitter. And I am color blocking this one. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you could pretty much, you don't have to follow, obviously. You know, if you're a beginner, you're going to be like, I need to use the exact yarn and I need to use the exact pattern and follow. No, you can do what you want. Hi, Sally. Hi, baby kitten. Thanks for joining. Okay, so back to Helen Stewart's 2022 knit vent. She did a hat. Whoops. And this is the medley hat. And she did some socks. Those are the collage socks. These are all written for minis or scraps. This is a pretty one. I might do this one maybe this fall. This is the forage cowl. No, this is a shawl. Hold on. No, it's a forage shawl. I wrote cowl, but it's a shawl. It's really pretty. See how she color blocked it? Each one of those colors is probably one mini. And then these mitts she did to match the hat. These are the medley mitts. Michelle said she knit a habitation with koigu. Beautiful. Koigu's beautiful yarn. And then she did a cowl in that collection. And this is the Ottoman's cowl. So other designers who do mini-skein sets, particularly for Advent, Amba O'Brien has some beautiful, beautiful patterns. And I wanted to show you this one. Um, this one. Did I write it down? I'm not really sure, but it's Amba O'Brien. I'm not really. I think this is the adventurous shawl. I love the contrast of that black with all those minis. So, I wanted to talk about some shawls that you could. Yes, Jen, that would look beautiful. So if you got that, took that navy and then used, oh, here we go. You could add others from your stash. I think she wrote this for 25 minis, but yeah. So I wanted to talk about some shawls that I have knit that could be adapted to mini skeins. And this is a very old shawl. This is not my yarn. This is hand spun from Into the World. It's a hitchhiker. But the hitchhiker would be a really cool project with minis. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's fun to knit and it's a really great one. It's easy to wear. Back to Helen Stewart. This is my favorite shawl that I have never knit, this is my favorite shawl that I've ever knit. And Sandra, you got it. You nailed it. This is the wick shawl. I love this shawl. I love triangles. So you definitely adapt this to minis because it's kind of a fade. And it's a simple lace pattern and garter stitch. This is my yarn. This is, the orange is my most famous color, best-selling. This is Slutty Pumpkin. This is I Put a Spell on You, this green and orange, and the blue, I think, is Halloween Town. Yeah, I love the shawl. I added a picot edge to it. Lauren, thank you for catching up with me. I appreciate you joining. Sorry about all the snafu in the beginning. Another designer that uses a lot of scraps and minis, Stephen West. Hello. He's incredible. So this is my yarn. They're full. This is the shellography. And these are full skeins, but you could use minis on this because there's so much going on. And I modified shellography because I didn't like the edging, the border. So I just put a different border on it. And then faded shawls. Andrea Mowry. This is all my yarn. This is the What the Fade. And you could definitely incorporate mini skein sets with this. So Sandra was saying that the wick would be beautiful with whale song and sea turtles. And I have other yarn back here. Let's see, what do I have? This is tortoiseshell. I just finished dyeing cat colors. This is one of them, tortoiseshell cat. Actually, this, and this would make beautiful wick. You could knit that for the splash pad party. This is Mysteries of the Sea, sea turtles, and whale song. That'd be a really great project for the summer. 3-skeiner. Trying to give you ideas today. Okay. So what I've been knitting lately, MiniSkeins. And so I want to tell a little bit about crochet. MiniSkeins are great for crochet. Donna just finished a beautiful, let's see. Donna finished a beautiful afghan. A lot of these are my minis. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to Donna's Ravelry page because she has extensive notes on how she made this pattern. It's all crochet, like granny squares, but you know, she modified it and made it look like stained glass, and this is really pretty. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate you getting yarn for me. Thank you. Joe asked me what the shawl is back here. That is the Oracle shawl by Kristen Ruhlenbein. And that's all my yarn in some Halloween colors that I did like 4 years ago. So baby kitten is trying to find a shawl pattern to use her tortoiseshell yarn. So I know that Jen has some patterns. I'm not sure how many skeins you would need, but you could check those out. And there's a lot of 1-skein patterns out there. And Donna loved using all the bright minis for that afghan. Yeah, it was really fun. So I'm going to show you my afghan that I'm crocheting. And this is a DK pattern. So this is a way you can use mini skeins in crochet. So here's the pattern. It is, hold on, I have it written down. Okay. This is the Wavy Crochet Blanket by Daisy Cottage Designs. It's really, really pretty. So I'm making this for Richie's great grandbaby that's due in the fall. So I'm crocheting this blanket for the baby, and, I decided to use minis. So I did some DK minis a couple of years ago, as an advent, and so I'm using those, and I'm also using some, fingering weight minis held together for this afghan, and I kinda made a mistake with this. I had to rip it out because I started it a year ago, and my gauge changed, and I got halfway through and realized it was much bigger when I picked it up again. So anyway, that's the wavy afghan, and I obviously modified it by using all different crazy colors. These are all my hand-dyed yarns, and some of them I held the yarn together to make a DK weight, and it all works. Thanks, Jen. I love crochet. It's so fun. I just like mindless crochet. I do have to look at it though. I'm not as confident a crocheter as I am a knitter, and I can't just sit down and watch TV and crochet. It just doesn't happen, but that's okay. And last but not least, I want to show you what I have on the needles right now. And this is a mini-skein project. It is a marled project, and that is Stephen West's Marled Mania sweater. Now it's in progress, so looks a little crazy. So this is my Marled Mania. I modified it. Now it's inside out because you knit the minis inside out because um, you want the not the stockinette, you want the other side showing when you wear the sweater. So it's inside out currently because I'm on the sleeve. But I actually have, if you guys are interested, I have a yarn pack for this top part. I have familiar and stiletto. You can buy if you're interested in making this sweater. And you hold those together for the top, and then the body is knit with minis. Now, I had a little bit of a snafu. So this when I knit this whole body of the sweater. I tried it on and it hit me right at the nipples. And that is not flattering. So I ripped it out and I continued the gray part all the way underneath the bust and then started the mini skeins, and it's awesome now. It fits beautiful. So I'm very happy with how it's coming out. I'm almost done. I'm on Sleeve Island. And it's so fun. Again, it's that stained glass look, you know what I mean? But this is what I'll turn it the right side. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And I knit it a little bigger and I cropped it a little bit. So, yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming out. So that's just about it. I'm going to show you very quickly. I'm going to go through my pigskin party exclusive items again very quickly because um, some of you may not have been here in the beginning. So these are I have minis. They are Mysteries of the Sea minis, Mermaid Hair, Mysteries of the Sea, Sun and Sea, Living Coral, and Caribbean Blue. I have Mysteries of the Sea. You can just buy one skein, or I have them in sock sets. I also have, you can buy Mysteries of the Sea with a matching bag. Sea turtles is another. It's much brighter um, in person. This is very muted here. But if you go to my website, you can see more accurate pictures. Whale Song. And this is the solid version of Mysteries of the Sea. So Donna says in her crochet afghan, she used the same minis that I used here in my sweater. So throughout the year, I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing mini skeins. I just did a really beautiful Speckle-tastic mini skein set. That was fun. That was fun to dye, and it came out really pretty. Unfortunately, they're gone. So instead of doing advents, I just kind of sprinkle minis in throughout the year, kind of like a little mini skein clubbish kind of thing. And I just show them every week on my show. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up right now. Does anybody have? Oh, Jen says thank you, and thank you for hosting, Jen. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Um, and you're welcome. I had a lot of fun. My show I'm doing a lot of like inspirational type of videos showing things I've knit like throughout the year. So, yeah. Thank you, Valerie, for ordering the bag and yarn. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to end it right here. If you're not subscribed already, I would really appreciate if you subscribed to the show. It really helps me out. And enjoy the pigskin party. Happy knitting. I'm looking forward to doing some summer knitting myself. Thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. This was so fun. Have a great rest of your Memorial weekend. Bye.